Yeah, yours is
Oh,
on.
okay.
Welcome to Jtwes Monday Night Live again, and we thank you all for being here. It felt like it was 80 degrees today. I started to go swimming in the pond.
Because it was what, 52?
Yeah, but amazingly enough, it really shows you how cold it was, has been, that there's still a little thin film of ice still on the water, even at 52
Yeah,
degrees. It's still a little bit of ice.
yeah, and it's
And
mostly the shade too.
yeah,
Keeps that ice on the pond, which I know the ducks are happy because it's like a quarter of the pond is free of ice, so they're out there getting crazy.
before everybody gets in here, I got to do my.
Oh,
I love doing this. Hold on.
y'all
Here
tell
we
them
go,
you hate
everybody.
it.
Here we go. Oh yeah, Coca-Cola.
Tell him you hate that. I'll read all the comments, the hate mail to him. Um, we have got Jason McDonald as our number one as usual,
Jason number one.
and Timbo
Hey Timbo.
says howdy neighbor, and Farm Boy 59, which
Brian's in the house.
is yeah, Bart Sexton.
Brian, I ain't seen a video from you in a while. You better start posting, boy. I'm one to talk.
Right.
I'm doing one like every 6 days. Not counting the live stream.
Bart is on from Goldsboro,
Hey Bart.
and Joseph Lott.
Joseph Lott.
John Briggs says evening Jones family.
Hello, John Briggs. We missed you the other day.
Yeah.
But we understand. We know
We're
what was going on.
sending well wishes to Miss Carolyn.
Yep.
Tell her we love her and miss her. T. Hawkins is on.
Hey T Hawkins.
Says good evening, everyone. And the Cajun Homestead says hello, JT West family and friends. We survived the Southwest Louisiana blizzard of 2025.
I bet it was.
Yeah, you guys got more snow than us. It's crazy.
Have we been on since it snowed at the Outer Banks? When did it do that? Yeah, so it did it like Tuesday and Wednesday of last week.
Yeah.
So yeah, we haven't been on since all of that.
No. And
Okay.
it's crazy to think Southwest Louisiana got more snow than we did.
I wonder how some of those parts of the nation, Louisiana, Mississippi, Texas, how they fared with the cleaning the roads up, or if they fared any at all. I do know that I read where North Carolina Outer Banks, which, they don't get snow hardly ever, but obviously they have some equipment because they were salting the roads, scraping them, and it was like business as usual down at the Outer Banks. So I don't know. They may have pulled some stuff out of Wake County and sent down there. Who knows? But I kind of wondered how some of those other states were doing with their cleanup. 'Cause
Yeah.
you always hear people say, "Oh, they can't handle that snow."
Yeah.
It's going to be there forever. But
Bart says hit that like button, y'all.
yes, sir, Bart.
And Paul Ford is on.
Hey, Paul.
Good evening, everyone. Finally warmed up a bit after the snowstorm in Southwest Louisiana.
Well, according to that lady on CBS, I think was her name Margaret or something?
Margaret.
Yeah.
The one that was talking to JD?
Yeah.
Yeah, Margaret. How
She-
can you forget after he called her Margaret so many times?
Well, I mean, she just seemed to, when Trump was talking about letting states handle stuff and he would give them the money after they handled it and what have you, and she was like, well, you got states like Mississippi and so, like, I don't know, maybe she was saying that they couldn't handle it. I don't know what she was saying, but I was like, I don't know, there's pretty smart people in those states.
Yeah, I mean,
I think they can handle it.
right, and they don't rely on the federal government for everything. There's plenty of things they do on a state level.
Most states can chew gum and walk at the same
Yeah.
time.
Joey Neal's on.
Hey, Joey.
Hello, Joey and Lino and everyone else. Hope all is well.
It is. I put my filter back in my 140 guys and put a new filter in it because the other one was split. But I didn't rebuild the pump or nothing because you got to remember, I wanted to change the filter because I personally have never done it. And I've had the tractor, I don't know, 15, 16, 17 years. The lift is not that bad on it. I mean, it doesn't leak down. It lifts up everything I want to lift up, albeit it's a little bit slow on the 122, but not super slow. The pump rebuild kit, I mean, that's just, the lift is working. It's just money you don't need to spend right now. But we got the filter on it, which we really needed that for debris if you get any in there. But we put it on there, and she's up and down, just as quick as she'll go. So we were very pleased with that, get that on there. I didn't get a chance to film any of it. Sammy was at the FFA, and I'll be honest with you, I didn't think you guys probably would care too much of 5 minutes of me putting a filter back in.
Let me see where it's at.
But I'll show it to you. I'll show you my crude paint job where I spritzed the cover of the new filter because it comes raw metal. It don't come red.
Elliot Lindsay's on.
Hey, Elliot Lindsay.
Good evening, Jtwes. How's everybody?
Hey, we are good.
Warhorstead is on.
Warhorstead.
Hello, everyone. And Abby and Jordan. Good evening, everyone.
And that'd be Jordan.
Mm-hmm. IP Farms is on.
Hey, Nelson.
Good evening, Joey and the missus.
Guys, Nelson's got a new channel, and I want to say, and Nelson, forgive me if I'm wrong, and you type it in and just put an @ sign in front of it. Grange on the Main. I may have said that wrong, but you type it in, Nelson, and put an @ sign in front of it.
Johnny Edgerton's on.
Hey, Johnny.
Johnny says, good evening. We all wish you a happy birthday, Lino. Thank you,
Yes,
Johnny.
it was her birthday here recently. Johnny remembered.
Yeah, thank you, Johnny. We won't say nothing else about that.
Nobody else. Yeah, Johnny. I remember. That's all that counts. The rest of my family, I ain't gonna say.
Orbra Horton is on.
Hey, Orbra.
Hello, Jtwes.
Orbra, speaking of Orbra, I'm gonna say something, guys, because Orbra has asked about this before, so he'd be a good one to bring it up. A couple of videos ago, which it don't count no more. So, because I'm telling you, when I was working on the fast hitch of the Super A, and what was I doing? No, I was sharpening the chainsaws. That's what I was doing. I was sharpening the chainsaws, and it was in the vise, and just over top of the vise, just through the screen view there, was that little tobacco barn sitting in a box, but nobody's seen it, so that don't count no more. We'll do another video. We'll do in the next 2 or 3 videos. We'll put it somewhere else. Because Lino asked me the other day, had anybody seen the tobacco barn? I said, no, nobody's seen it. And but just so y'all know, it's a couple of videos back. I don't remember the name of the video, but it was where my bolts and stuff are in those little boxes. It was just past the vise right there, and where I was sharpening, you could see the little tobacco barn. What?
So did Orbra see it or not?
No, but Orbra's asked about it before.
Oh, okay, so you're just telling him now?
Well, I'm just telling everybody that I did it.
Okay, that's not the idea of it, though.
Yeah, it is, Lena. Once it's a couple weeks, I can't leave it forever.
Okay, so now they got to wait till the next time.
The next 2 or 3 videos, I'm going to put it in one of those videos.
So keep your eyes out for it.
If nobody sees it,
then it's...
Because that video's been about 3 weeks now.
Okay, so if they don't see it in 3 weeks, then too late.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll just have to do another one.
All right. I just didn't know
that's
your,
what I'm saying.
your rules and regulations.
I can't leave it forever. I mean, because then it'd be 3 years from now, somebody email me and say, hey, man, I seen your barn.
Well, then you just tell them, well, you weren't the first. So. Terms and conditions.
They may be the first.
William May is on.
Hey, William May.
Says, good evening, everyone. And Graham Presser is on, which I never know if I'm saying that name right, but they say good or morning from Victoria, Australia.
Australia in the house, guys.
Yes.
I got a YouTube channel down there I watch. It's a older fella, white hair, and he basically does what Vice Grip Garage does, but he does it in the outback. He goes get old equipment, gets it running, and drives it back to his place. Gosh, I can't remember the name of that YouTube channel, but I watch him quite a bit.
Mark Moore is on.
Hey, Mark Moore.
Good evening, y'all. By the way, your lift assist spring is adjustable by screwing the rod in for more lifting power.
Maybe I need to do that for 140.
Butterfly Farms is on.
Butterfly Farms. I asked Brandon about that, and he actually wasn't sure about adjustment on it.
Ricky Eads is on. Says, good evening, everyone. Glad to see y'all weathered the cold. God bless y'all.
We did, Ricky. It was, I can't remember. When I changed that filter, my hands got cold from that carburetor cleaner, I'll tell you that. But I did pretty good. I think we've talked about it before, but I wear these wool thermos, and I did real good.
Stan is on.
Hey, Stan.
Hello, Jones family. Glad to be able to attend. Hope everyone is healthy.
We are. I was thinking about calling you, buddy, but I wasn't sure if you was back in town.
Paul Ford is on.
Hey, Paul.
Paul says they used motor graders to clear the snow from the roads.
Oh, cool. So I wonder if they had salt trucks and stuff. They may have.
Deborah Calvert's on.
Deborah.
Says hi everyone from Coastal Hyde County, North Carolina.
Coastal Hyde. Didn't we talk about where that was at? Yeah.
Yeah. That's why she put it in there so we'd remember.
Yeah.
Thank you, Deborah, for helping us remember that too. Cornbread is on. Says Baton Rouge borrowed snowplow trucks from Arkansas.
Oh, wow.
And Timbo says here in Tennessee they love to use up their salt supply. Yeah, we had a ton of salt.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, our roads around here are still white.
Yeah,
I
didn't know we had so much salt.
The first day I drove my truck, me and Leno went somewhere. I think we went to church and helped scrape off the sidewalks a little bit. And we came back to the house and the truck was covered white on the side. And I got the pressure washer out and pressure washed all that off. Drove it the next day, same thing, pressure washed it off. And then honestly, I told Leno the other day, I said, it's got a little bit on it right now, but not that much. I said, we're just going to have to wait till it rains because I'm not going to keep pressure washing it every time I get it back to the house.
Allison's on.
Hey, Allison.
Says, hey, friends, love y'all.
Thank you.
Love you too, Allison. And thank you for your sweet text the other day. It was right on time for me.
Oh, man. Miss Jane said something about the women's meeting Sunday, and I do not remember what she said. I tuned her out.
What women's meeting?
The women's thing y'all do.
Oh, in May?
Yeah.
Like the conference?
Yeah.
Oh.
Sorry.
Brian says, yeah, the videos have taken the side burner. Sorry to all, but just got mom home from hospital rehab.
Oh, that's all right, Brian. I'm just picking with you, bud.
After 57 days. So, yeah, we know that's a tough situation.
And to be honest with you, Brian, folks like me and you, we don't, unless we filmed our day job, we don't have too much to film right now.
And J Pill is on.
Hey, J Pill.
Good evening from the wet UK.
The wet UK. J Pill's from the motherland.
And Rel Fan 90 is on.
That'd be Paul.
Good evening from Johnson City, Tennessee.
Johnson City, Tennessee. Let's see, Paul. I'm trying to think. I guess that must be southern from where we went to go to Allison's because I didn't see not one sign that said Johnson City, Tennessee.
I don't remember it either. I don't know.
Yeah.
Or it's so far west Tennessee that we didn't get that far.
That could be. It couldn't, but no, we were close to. What was we close to? Allison said Kentucky. Yeah, it was Kentucky. North of us.
Yeah, Kentucky was north of us.
Yeah.
But we weren't too far from. Is it Arkansas? Yeah. We weren't too far from Arkansas either. John Briggs has been a tough few weeks since she sees the heart doctor tomorrow.
Okay.
Carolyn does. Okay. Well, we'll be praying about that, John. And Gurney's on.
Hey, Gurney.
Good evening, all. Hit the like button. It helps the channel.
Thank you, Gurney.
And Larry Terrell says hi from Rockingham County.
Hey, Larry.
And Orbra says, I will be danged. I watched that video and missed it.
I figured he would because Orber had asked about it before.
And IP Farms says it's at the Grange on Main.
At the Grange on Main. Okay.
And Mark Moore says been working on them for 30 plus years. It'll help it.
Working on what? Oh,
the lift.
The farm
The lift assist. I had to go back up to see what was that other comment.
I knew what he was talking about now.
Yeah. Cajun Home says they salt the bridges and overpasses.
Oh, so the rest of it you's on your own.
Yeah, because we had salt everywhere,
So,
even on our roads, like the bad spots that are stay in the shade. They just dumped a whole bin of ice on it. I mean, bin of salt on it.
So I'm wondering what the mix is now, because okay. I think back in the 80s, we would buy vehicles for our needs. Okay, you got to follow me here. We would buy trucks for our needs. So traditionally, in the 80s and 90s and stuff like that, there wasn't that many four-wheel drive trucks in Florida down close to the coast because you just never needed it. It never snowed. And so I was thinking about that the other day, and I was like, well, I wonder if they got a lot of two-wheel drives down there. And then I thought about it. We have moved more now we buy a lot of vehicles because, we want the four-wheel drive, the big truck, the big engine. And so it's probably quite a few four-wheel drives on the coast where back in the day, you could always say, well, there's, tons of two-wheel drives down in Florida, two-wheel drives here. But so I don't know. I was wondering the other day when all that snow was coming through, showing my age here a little bit, I was thinking to myself, I guess what I'm getting at is I was thinking to myself, I wonder how many four-wheel drives is down there close to the coast. And then I thought, well, it's probably a lot of them because a lot of people buy them even though they don't need them, never use it.
Mm-hmm. Allison said if you went through Bristol, then you were right there at Johnson City.
Maybe.
And we did go through Bristol because you were looking for the racetrack.
Yeah, we did because I figured that racetrack would be close off that interstate because we seen a Bass Pro Shop up there or something?
Yeah. Brian said, I did go to the shop and thought the battery was dead, but that old 6-volt must have got warm and she started right up. Love that old 140.
Yeah, that video, guys, where I said something about a cold start on my tractor, the last video, literally, that was a cold start. It had been sitting there through all that teen-degree weather, and I don't know, I guess I just got a good mix on the carburetor and that electronic ignition on that 140. She will start up. I don't care if it's 6 degrees outside, it'll start right up.
Stan says, Joey, the salt on the underbody is what is bad. The paint can handle it. A good heavy rain to get the salt off the road is what you need.
Yeah. I want to I wonder if I could get some 1/2-inch tubing and drill some holes in it all the way across, thread it up, put a quick connector on it for like the pressure washer, and weld some legs on it and drive my truck slowly over it.
Weld legs on it? I mean, this is to take it to the drive-through.
No, you can't get my 2500 in a drive-through. You can't get that truck in no car wash.
Why?
You just can't. It's got to be a specialty car wash for a truck that big. It's 20 feet long.
But if it's drive-through, what does it matter how long it is?
The tracks ain't but so wide in the ceiling height and all that mess. Yeah.
See, I'd been trying to scoot it on in
what
there.
I'm talking about is like you would weld it, take a couple of pieces of flat metal about like that, and weld a pipe, another piece of flat metal, and on the end, make it about 10 foot wide.
Why don't your sprinkler that does this?
No, I want it to shoot.
Scoot that under there.
I want it to shoot straight up in the air with some pressure on it, and wash the carriage out.
I mean, your sprinkler would work too.
You need to be able to drive over it.
Well. Anyway, William May says, snow in the deep south is a once-in-a-lifetime event. It really is. I got to see some good pictures of, there's some people I know who never get snow or have never even seen snow, and they just were bombarded with it. It was wonderful.
We were going to go to the Outer Banks for Lena's birthday, and we had it all figured out, and I need to tell you something about that anyway, about booking trips. We had it all figured out and going to 25th, and with Megan, Will's wife, being close to having a baby, we figured, okay, well, we'll just wait and we'll put it off a couple of weeks, and we did. And I told her, I said, man, I wish that we'd have went just so we could drove down Highway 12 in the snow.
I had no want to do that.
I wanted to drive Highway 12 in the
I'd rather
snow.
wait a few weeks and hope for maybe a 50-degree day than go down there when it's just as cold as it is here, but windier,
I mean, we had the hotel already pre-booked.
I know. Well, we still have it pre-booked, just
I know,
for a different
but what
date.
I'm saying is, like, if there's other people out there that want to see snow at the beach, because, it's something you don't see.
Oh, there wasn't. They didn't.
They didn't get
no.
busy? Oh.
No. Most people, including myself, are like, the beach is really for the warm weather, you know. I mean, I don't mind going for just basically a day
How
like
many
we do.
times in your lifetime are you going to get a chance to see the Body Island Lighthouse with snow?
I don't know. Probably not many. But you also have to have that want to do it, you know. And I think that was my problem. Let me see where I was at.
And notice I said body and not Bodie.
Bodie. Yeah, body.
Yeah, it's body.
The Cajun Homestead is on.
Hey, Cajun Homestead.
It says four-wheel drives have always been big here in Southwest Louisiana. A lot of mud here. Yeah.
Well, yeah, y'all got some swamps.
And things get real wet, you know, get stuck easy.
I did see in Louisiana they had people going around on their airboats on the snow.
Yeah, I seen that too.
I was like, get it, boy.
Paul said, I got a contraption with a bunch of nozzles for my pressure washer on wheels. Works great for cleaning the underside.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. You can just roll it up under there. Yeah, maybe Amazon's got a cheap one of them.
Timbo says, Northern Tool sells a sprayer for your water hose like that. Northern Tool. Stan says, Joey, do it. Straight up is great. And Joey Neal says, people make them with casters on them so you can move it around under your vehicle.
Yeah, I think the cool thing about North Carolina, and I don't know this to be a fact, but I don't think they put as harsh of chemicals in their salt mixtures as places like Michigan and West Virginia, and places like that. Because Preacher Pat, he didn't want me to get much stuff on my truck when I went to see him in West Virginia because he said they put some hard stuff in there, which I don't think North Carolina invest that much into it.
Right, into like that de-icing chemicals. Yeah.
I think they're pretty much just salt.
Yeah.
I got a good undercoating on my truck. I mean, that is the good thing about a Ram truck. I mean, they really paint that frame good.
That big bridge we go through in West Virginia, you know what I'm talking about? I think it might be Buckley or Berkeley.
Well, we don't go over it. We went and visited it, but we don't have to go over it. You talking about the one we drove up under?
No. This was on the way to Michigan.
Oh.
That where it had the two colors, the blue and yellow for the Kentucky teams.
Oh, yeah.
That one. They had a picture of that with all the snow, and it was
that
pretty.
Was in West Virginia.
Yeah, it was pretty. But the bridge, I'm sure, is used to all those harsh chemicals because I'm sure they get snow a lot more than us. Joey Neal says, I already read his. Cajun Homestead 4-wheel drive sell at a premium at the auctions. No corrosion from salt on the roads. Yeah.
Well, you always hear that. Did it come up north or did it come from down
right.
south?
Or did it come from east with the salt air? Because that.
Yeah.
The 140s we've seen there on that side.
Oh,
like
well,
on the east,
yeah.
They've been pretty.
No, are you talking about tractors?
Yeah.
No, what kills a 140 more than anything, as far as rust, is leaving the doggone fertilizer hopper on there. You leave a fertilizer hopper on one, you've about destroyed the right side of the tractor there. That fertilizer, boy, she's rough.
Well,
and it'll do it in like 1 year.
Well, because I know you always say something about the one at Surf City Campground.
Oh, yeah, because it's so close to the beach, I feel sorry for it.
Because their campground is so super tight.
It's off of Highway 50. Somebody here, we were talking about it one time, somebody on the live knew where it was at.
That campground?
No, where the 140 was at.
Oh, yeah.
So when we leave Emerald Isle and we go across, I guess it's 501 or whatever it is, and we're on Highway 50 headed north or whatever, or west.
Yeah, I know which one you're talking about.
It's at a store.
Yeah, but the one at the campground, they have that because the spots are so tight.
Oh, that's
Surf City Campground.
Surf City, and that's a little Massey Ferguson.
Oh, it is? Okay, I thought it was one.
They have a hitch on the back. They use the fifth wheels in there. And yeah, that's
It's always, it
Golly.
reminds me of Mater on the Cars movie.
The fenders are falling off, the hitches are falling off. That thing
Because
is rough
that Massey stays there, and it's like
year round.
10, 15 foot from the ocean,
Yeah,
because
it's-
that campground is right on the ocean. And so Joey always has to give out the whole spiel about that tractor when we go there.
That thing is rough.
But look, it's been there the whole time we've ever gone.
I know.
And it's still working and doing its job, so it's,
Well, yeah, because what they use on it's hooked to the 3-point, and it takes a little longer to rust that to pieces. But the fenders and the sheet metal's gone.
poor little tractor. T. Hawkins says, Joey, I have a 2024 GMC 2500, and so far it fits in all the automated car washers I've tried. Just have to pull the mirrors in.
Well, T, you know, I may have not wanted to take my truck to one of those things. I might not like those rags slapping the paint.
Because, yeah, I figured it's more of a personal preference than really, can you
I
really
ain't
fit it
saying
in there?
there's no car wash, but now, honest to goodness, you wouldn't want to run it through a little average car lot at your average Sheets or Texaco or one of those little car washes.
Well, like auto bells?
Yeah, it'd probably
That's
be all
like
right.
a straight pull in.
Yeah, but I still am not a fan of that slapping the paint. I ain't a fan of it. I ain't gonna. It probably would run through an auto bell.
Welch Farm is on.
Hey, Welch Farm.
Welch Farm NC.
NC.
Late greenhouse work. So they were in late today.
Uh-oh, greenhouse work. It's starting, guys.
Mm-hmm.
It's starting. We looked at the garlic, and yeah, I've about decided on the onions. What don't make it, we'll just go over here to my local store, Corbett Ridge Grocery, and we'll just buy us a bag of bulbs, onion bulbs, because he usually gets them out pretty early. He gets them out like February. Later part of February. And we'll just stick bulbs in where the ones died, and they may come in at different times because I'm sure one will be short and one will be long day. But it'll be okay. It'll be there all year.
Stan says calcium chloride is commonly used in Michigan along with salt mixed with sand.
That's what it sounded like. I think that's what
Okay.
Preacher Bennett.
Pat, yeah.
Yeah, Pat said.
Sand works good but doesn't promote melt like salt.
Yeah.
Joey Neal says they put pre-treatment down on the roads here and it's bad for vehicles.
Well, they do here too, and they call it a brine. And I don't know what their brine is. I don't know if it's salt and water or it does lead to interstate pretty white. So, I mean, I feel like it's got a lot of salt in it. It's not colored,
No, yeah.
but.
And I know there's spots even at the end of our road here where it's just a dump of
Yeah,
salt.
but if you look at that dump, it's just salt. Yeah,
Yeah.
they got a pile of salt towards the end of our road. I told Linda, I said, man, that's enough to cure a whole ham.
Yeah,
It
well,
really
we had a
is.
lot of problems with the buses. There was a few roads they still could not get down because they were just too bad. So when that happened, the county went around and put salt, like they basically said every shaded spot where there's still ice, dump salt on it. And so you could see all the way here to Corbett's spots where it's just completely white, and then some is just still standing salt, like
And I got a question.
pile of
I got
salt.
a question too, like places like Michigan. And I didn't study it too hard when we were in Michigan. But best my memory, they still had grass on the side of the road. And if they do all that salting and brining every year and it washes off the road right there on the side, how's the grass still growing? I thought salt just pretty much killed the soil. I don't know.
That question is for you guys, not for me.
I don't know. They got grass on the side of the road, and you'd think that, they say that salt will kill the soil pretty quick.
I don't know.
And they do it every year, and you got roads through Michigan that's been there for the last 50 years.
Yeah. And it could be that things kind of,
Leach through, like maybe it leaches deeper.
yeah, and things kind of, some plants get tougher. And,
Yeah.
if it's used to it every year, it starts to grow around it, Speaking of growing, I forgot to tell you yesterday, I did look for my buttercups. I'm like,
Oh, they're sprouting.
no. I'm like, do I see a little green? A little green? Come on, come on. Because that's always a good sign, you know, like, oh.
Yeah, and the
spring's
reason why I
coming.
brought that question up about the salt in the soil is because Ellie come over and he was trying to look after his mama, and he put salt on my sidewalk. And I told him, I said, Ellie, I wish you wouldn't have done that, because I got these tulips, buttercups, running along the side of the sidewalk. And I didn't want that salt to mess with the buttercups. But I'm assuming it won't, since it doesn't kill the grass on the side of the road.
Well, and it wasn't a whole ton of salt.
Yeah, it was
it's
just
not,
a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't much.
Jay Pill says they use rock salt on the roads here in the UK. Yeah, rock
That's what
salt
we
is
use,
what's at the
Caswell
end.
uses. It's just pure rock salt. You can tell.
Mm-hmm.
You can see it on the truck. I mean, you're about white on the back of the truck.
I should scoop all that excess up so I have stuff to make ice cream with.
You really could. I swear to goodness, that probably.
Well,
some
I mean,
good
when you
salt
got a
for it.
mound like this tall of salt, you know.
If I knew for sure that it was just straight salt, I probably would go down there and sweep it up. I mean, because it is a big pile. It's probably 25 pounds.
I mean, it's not like you eat the salt, you know. It's
Yeah.
just for the freezing process when you're making ice cream. Deborah said that she sent you an email with the picture of the snowman my sister built at the bank at the OBX
Cool
beach
deal.
with his goggles and snorkel. That's cute. Yeah, I did see something about Outer Banks, and they were just saying how they've had to improvise, like they were sledding on a boogie board, you know, like using
but they could have went to the Air Museum, got up on that big hill.
They're not going to let them slide on that hill.
Them sand dunes, boy.
Yeah, no. They're not going to let them slide on that. But, yeah, they were using boogie boards for sleds because they're like, why would they have a sled there? So they used, and also the skim boards, the real skinny ones, the wooden ones. Elliot has one.
Yeah, the skin board.
Yeah, so they would get on that and slide on that too. And then you could, of course, use your floats. Like
Every time I see them people using them
Pool
skin
float.
boards, you know, I'm sitting on the beach, legs stretched out, laid back. I'm like, man, that just looks like too much work. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You got to take off
you
running,
got to run.
throw the board, then jump on it.
Yeah.
And you don't get your effort for your fun.
Don't pay off.
Don't pay off. I mean, you got to work 20 minutes for 2 minutes. You know, or,
Well, I kind of feel like that when I do boogie boarding because I have to fight the surf so hard to get out there far enough that then, and all it does is bring me right back up.
me and Sammy's gonna rent us a jet ski.
Well, y'all can have a jet ski. I'll take the boogie board.
Me and Sammy's gonna rent us a jet ski and the sound, and we're gonna ride them.
Stan says lots of evergreens that are too close to the highways to die off, depending on how aggressive the plowing is. They do die off.
Oh, they do?
Joey Neal says, boy, the hill at the Wright Brothers Museum would be fun to go down
Yeah,
on
that's
an
what
inner
I'm
tube.
thinking, Joey.
Yeah, that is a huge hill.
That thing.
But like I said, they'll never let you do that.
Well, they can't stop you, I don't think, from getting on the sand dunes part. You don't go in at the Wright Brothers to get to the sand dunes. That's something else.
You mean where they do the flying?
Yeah.
Oh, that's different.
That's what I'm saying.
That's Jockey
Hill or something.
State Park.
I don't remember.
So it's still state operated, and they'd say no.
I'd have snuck in there.
Or Jockey Ridge, I think it's called. I don't remember. I've never been there because I don't do stuff like hiking. Joey forced me to do, what's that hike?
Your COVID hike?
No, that was a different hike, which was awful. Yeah, I had COVID, and Joey forced me to go on a hike. And yeah, it definitely was like, I had no, threat of giving it to anyone because nobody else was there, but it was like 3 miles. And then we got up to the waterfall, and I was like, this was not worth it. I mean, it was bad.
It was a waterfall from a pipe from a road that was up above it.
Right, I had like fever the day before, and he makes me
You
go
talk
do a
about
hike.
clickbait. Go see the waterfall, and it's from a pipe from a road that's up above it.
hey, it's technically still, it's a falling
Yeah,
water.
I guess it was still a waterfall.
Yeah, it's a falling water.
You must be talking about Jules Kimmel National Forest.
I am. That's the one I was talking about. That was,
Biggest poplar trees in North Carolina, and you complain about it.
yeah, it wasn't worth it to see the trees either.
That tree's bigger around as my truck.
It was a big tree,
Yeah.
but it was okay.
I'm going back.
T. Hawkins says when plants adapt to salt, it's called, hold on, halophytism, and the plant themselves are called halophytes.
Well, I was just.
T. Hawkins, I knew you were always so smart on here.
Well, I mean, I just figured.
Meaning they are specifically adapted to grow in salty environments and can tolerate high salt concentrations in their tissues.
Okay. Well, I knew something was going on because as much as salt as places like Michigan, New York, all in places put on the road, and they still got grass on the side of the road, plants.
Right, yeah, it's because they've adapted to it.
Yeah, I'm like, something ain't right.
It's kind of like how what grows in the deserts has adapted to needing very little water.
Yeah.
You know. Timbo says, we use so much salt in Tennessee that I got stuck in salt and had to put ice down to get out. So you could slide out there.
So now you had to melt the salt.
Yeah. Timbo, you're silly. Joe with the W is on.
Hey, Joe.
He says, y'all can have that ocean swimming. There's sharks in there, LOL. I
don't get out there far, but I do. I will proudly walk across that sand and put my life jacket on and get out there, and I'll float around a little bit with my life jacket. I think I've told y'all this before, but I can swim. I mean, but I ain't, I'm not no Olympic swimmer. I mean, I can't do the backstroke for.
I can swim too, but I do feel more comfortable if I have a boogie board that I can, like, if I get tired, I
feel more comfortable.
I get on that board and just float around. I'm good.
Having a life jacket, that way if you get in, what's those things that drag you out? Surge or
Riptide.
Riptide. If I get in a riptide, I'll just ride it out.
Well, the problem with riptides is the panic. Is that when a riptide starts taking you, you tend to fight it harder because you know you're not in control of it, and that's when you drown, is because you're so exhausted. So yeah, you do want to take that out, but it takes a lot of mental, like, get a hold of yourself, mental control to get out of a riptide.
I always look at it that I know how to drive a car, but I still wear a seatbelt. I know how to swim, so I can still put my life jacket on.
And the W is talking about sharks. I haven't had any shark stuff, but the one time I did get out of the ocean was I was doing my boogie boarding, and the waves were really high, so it was really fun. But when I was looking behind me to see if a wave was coming, when the wave was high, I seen like thousands of fish coming towards me. Like, I don't know if they were this big, that big.
They were little mullets.
I don't know. All I know is there was thousands of them, and they were coming straight for me. And so
they went around you. I watched them.
Well, I got out because I couldn't.
When they were coming, they said, shh, went right around you.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
A fish can cut a 90-degree turn like that.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's fine, but that just just seeing the wall of them, and I felt like we made eye contact with the fish, and it just creeped me out. So I had to get out. I don't mind one or two, but a whole wall of them, no. Stan says, the older you get, the less fun some of those things are. Just saying, maturity can be a fun killer. Yeah, that's why I still like to do boogie boarding a little bit, just because it is just fun. Now, I do pay for it, though. I'm saying I'm sore the next day. My ribs are sore from being on the board. I usually get some sort of scratches from the shell bed, but it's worth it. Still worth it, Stan, for right now. Sundowner Whoop Whoop is on.
Hey, Sundowner.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. And T. Hawkins says, I'm only as smart as Google, LOL. Well, thank you for looking it up, at least, so that we didn't have to. Sundowner says, no doubt, 8 inches of snow and then 2 days of slow drizzle rain. Holy crap.
Man, I bet it is wet.
Mm-hmm. Joey Neal says, when we were there, the riptide was so bad they weren't allowing anyone in the ocean. Yeah, we've gone before and it's been red flag or black flagged. I don't know what they call it.
The Outer Banks to me has always been traditionally a little rougher sea right there at the beach than say Myrtle Beach or on down south. Those seas, when I say seas, the actual seas are not as rough down there as they are at the Outer Banks. The Outer Banks is just rough.
Well, the Outer Banks do stick out farther into the ocean than most of the bodies of land. I mean, that's what I think.
Could be the current where it's at up higher. The current may have more strength.
I do know it tends to be colder. It feels like it's colder. Like, it takes probably till August before I could really get in the water without being miserable. Like, oh my gosh, I'm so cold in here. You know, like August, late July, August before I can get in the ocean comfortably. Sundowner says, the only problem I have with sharks they're good to eat. I haven't ate shark.
Yeah, I'd probably eat shark before I would a bear.
Yeah. I
feel like I'm eating my German Shepherd if I eat a bear.
Yeah, because our German Shepherd does.
He looks like a bear.
Yeah, he sounds like a bear too. And he's fat like a hibernating bear. I know that. Farmall Fanatic is on.
Hey, Farmall Fanatic.
Says, what's cracking?
Not a whole lot. We are talking about our wonderful...
what's cracking?
What's cracking?
Yeah.
Well,
Joey's joints are cracking.
Yeah, my joints are cracking.
Because here, every time you've got up, I've heard your knees.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, see?
Yeah.
Joey's knees are cracking, Farmall Fanatic. Timbo says, what tomato seed do you recommend?
To me, there's only one tomato seed. I don't know any other brand than German Johnson.
Right.
I know they have your big boys, better boys, and this and that.
And beefsteak.
Beefsteak, and all of which are great. I guess, you know what? Probably any heirloom tomato is what I would venture to. It's funny you mention that because when I do say German Johnson, because that's all we ever raised. A lot of people are like, you can that? And I'm like, yeah, we can it. How's that do? Because German Johnson's not traditionally known for a good canning tomato because I guess it has a little bit of lower acid to it. But she's canned 1,000 quarts of those things over the years, probably 2,000. And I don't know that ever had one bad.
No, I've never had any that have gone bad.
I've even seen her put some in there that wasn't quite ripe enough, but she put them in there anyway.
Well, I mean, I'd already skinned them and cut them and blanched them. I'm like, well.
They were a little bit on the green side.
They were not green.
They say,
no, they were not.
I've seen some in there where when I cut, I'm like, doggone.
They were not green.
I'm so glad you didn't pull tobacco.
They're like light orange, maybe.
I bet you if you'd pulled tobacco, you'd have been like, well, I'll get this one, and that one, and this one, and that one, and this one. Before you know it, be pulling first prime, and then your stalk been stripped.
Yeah. Been like, oh, it's good. It's good. It'll ripen up. I'll set it on the counter for a few days.
So German Johnson, I really like them. I have had some of the other ones. We occasionally raise a plant or two of cherry tomatoes sometimes, Roma tomatoes. I need to raise Leno some Roma tomatoes so she can make me some chili.
Well, German Johnsons make it just fine.
Yeah, but Roma's is...
I would like a tomato that has maybe less seeds.
Your mama uses Roma tomatoes.
I know.
She buys them.
I know. I feel like Roma has a little bit less seeds than mine, than our homegrown ones.
I have a fellow at church. He has some greenhouse. Actually, that's what his business is raising greenhouse tomatoes, and he raises tomatoes like as in Trump would say, the most beautiful tomatoes you've ever seen. They really are, though.
Best tomatoes.
Best tomatoes.
The absolute best.
Yeah, he raises my German Johnsons. He starts them off in trays for me.
Sundowner says, yep, cold water and hot water don't mix that good. No.
No, it don't.
And Sundowner also says, if you never ate a fried green tomato, you haven't lived yet. Have we ate a fried green
I
tomato?
think you have. I mean, it's okay. It ain't nothing bad about it. What you do is you do it like squash. If you're gonna fry squash, fry it the same way.
Yeah, I like fried squash.
Yeah, you would like fried green tomatoes. It's not bad. It's not what you think. It's pretty good.
I like the movie.
Oh my God. It's a liberal movie.
It is not.
It is.
It is not.
It is.
They literally kill a guy for being abusive. How is
That's
that
still
liberal?
liberal, man.
That's
I
not
don't care.
liberal. Anyway.
The actors that played in it, they
No.
all went liberal.
No.
Whatever.
Yeah, what is it?
We ain't talking about that.
Why is he
movie.
going on about this kind of stuff?
We ain't talking about that movie.
Anyway, did we get our okra from Danny?
Yes.
We did. We are going to try some white okra this year. Danny sent, and Danny's with Pecan Grove. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Or what's the other one?
Deep South at Pecan Grove.
Deep South.
Deep South, yeah.
Deep South Homestead at Pecan Grove. He sent me some white okra because he knows I love it. Because I've had Star of David for a couple years.
Yeah, I bought the Star of David, but I bought it because he had mentioned raising it, and I think I got it from Hoss Tools. But Danny sent some white okra, and it's enough for a good half of my rolls, and hopefully we can have enough for Leno to pick some, and we'll
Get seed off
we'll
of
do
it.
like last year, and we'll save the last 5 or 10 plants for seed. And I had enough this year that I saved was a whole quart bag.
Yeah, we won't need to buy a seed
Yeah.
now.
Well, of the Star of David, so hopefully we can build up some of that white okra. So we'll see how it comes out. It'll be interesting.
Let's see. Ricky E says, when will you start planting potatoes?
I don't know, Ricky. It's going to really depend on the weather for me. Ideally, mid or early to mid-March maybe, but depending on how wet it is and things like that, sometimes around here I don't get it till the end of March, 1st of April. I have done that before, but, first, you kind of got to be careful with it here because you can plant it. It probably should be towards the end of March, to be honest with you. But I have planted it earlier, and I have got it frostbit, and it will bite it hard, and it'll turn the foliage on it black, but it'll come on out. It'll keep coming on out. Just if you don't want to see your potatoes get bit back real hard.
Well, and we need to figure out what we can do with potatoes this year. Have you checked the ones in the barn?
That's sweet potatoes in the barn.
Oh, okay. I thought it was regular
The
potatoes.
house potatoes are under the house, and yes, the little ones that we haven't eat are totally fine.
Okay.
So under the house. The thing about the reason why we put those under the house is because when we harvest them, it's like the hottest part of the year.
Yeah.
And the barn ain't gonna help that out.
Okay. Yeah, because, I mean, I don't know how many potatoes it would take for him to grow for me to not go through them.
I don't think I can grow what you cook. I really don't. I mean, I'd have to have.
So I should cook less. I think that's the
No, man,
that's the
I'd have to
message I'm
have-
getting is
I'd have to
cook
have
less.
The whole sweet corn garden and potatoes, the whole thing. You would. You buy 5 pounds 10 pounds every 2 weeks.
Well, and I know sometimes I do overcook the potatoes, like cook too many.
Oh yeah.
Like I can't gauge them right.
And of course, I eat a lot myself when I get home.
Yeah, you have a baked potato for snack.
Yeah, microwave.
Yeah, don't tell people that. Y'all pretend you didn't hear that.
Oh, I found out another good use for a pellet cooker. So Leno was cooking a block of Philadelphia
Cream cheese.
cream cheese
Thanks, Trey Bowers.
in the pellet cooker, and it's 2 hours, 200 some degrees, and we went to Outback for her birthday, and so, after eating bloomin' onion, you never eat your whole entree. You're just too full from the bloomin' onion. So I had brought 90% of that home, and I put it on a plate, and I have a plate that's one of those, looks like a camping plate. They're metal with speckles on it. Now I put it in there, but man, that thing will reheat up a steak and a piece of bread and a baked potato. Perfect. Perfect. And put a little bit of smoke
flavor.
into the
Yeah,
steak.
because I ate the bread
Yeah.
and with some butter on it, and it was so good. It tasted better out of the smoker than it did at the restaurant.
Had a little bit of a crust on it, and the inside was just soft.
Yeah,
as
but
can be.
very light taste of smoke in it. You
Yeah.
know, it wasn't like it put a lot in there because it wasn't in there very long. But it
Probably 20 minutes it took to heat it up.
Yeah, but it was really good.
It really was. So the first thing I told Lino, I said, Lino, that means we could get a blooming onion to go, put it in the smoker, and it would heat it up.
You think so?
Yeah.
Well, we'll have to try it. We'll have to test it.
Because I guess the air moving around in there kind of crusted it too.
Yeah. It's almost like an air fryer, like a smoked
It's
air
a real
fryer.
air fryer, not a fake one.
Oh, this man. Oh, he's on something. Sundowner says, OMG, Lino. I don't know to what, because I've said a lot of outlandish things tonight. Timbo says, bigly liberal movie.
Yeah. Timbo's right.
That may be what they're talking about. War says, every time I go in the ocean, fish attack me. Sharks, tuna, jellyfish, everything.
Man, you need to stay out
Yeah,
there.
War said, I'd stay out of the ocean then, but I mean, you just got that good blood. They are drawn to you. JPL wants to know, do you grow shallots over there? I'm thinking that's a type of onion. To us, that would be, what are those onions I get? Chives?
Chives.
Is that with the white small onion with the long green? I mean, that's what I think shallots are, but I can't be for sure. Or it may be the little white onions, like they're real petite. I think that may be what it is.
Yeah, JPL, you have to, and some of the other guys may already know. Y'all let me know what that is.
Grand Pressure says, it's interesting listening to all in the winter you're having. We're in mid-hot summer. We have a wildfire up the road at the moment, which burnt 140,000 acres in 8 hours yesterday.
Golly, is he the one in
Australia. You know, and it's very dry. I mean, they almost have like the climate like LA where it's hot and dry. And so, yeah, that's awful.
I hate to hear that, Graham. It's Graham, right?
Yeah.
Which, you know, unfortunately, we've had I don't think it's burned 140,000 acres in California. It may have, I don't know. I mean, I just, all you hear is how many houses it's burned, which is important. I'm not saying it's not important, but I don't think they tell the total acreage amount. They may have, but they do concentrate most of the reporting on the houses.
Yeah. Sundowner says, Lino, we all eat our potatoes that way. We don't have them for we don't have all day for baking.
Yep. Which I don't like a super soft baked potato anyway. I like mine have a little bit of stiffness in it.
Yeah, I don't like that though, because my potato this weekend I was like, this potato really isn't done, but it was like his ideal.
Yeah, it was perfect for me. I don't like for it to be just powdery.
I like
soft.
mine soft and fluffy, like mashed potatoes in potato skin. That's what I like mine to be. Timbo says scallop taters. No, two different things, Timbo. And Sundowner says, nope, they're a small, medium onion with a good flavor, and they multiply.
Oh, what?
Shallots. So small, medium
I know what
onion.
you're talking about now. I've seen some. Danny at D South Homestead, he's had some. Because I noticed he'll say something about them, keep growing, they keep growing, keep growing.
That's what we need then, because what I have, they're always getting rotten before I can use all of them.
Yeah, it'd be something that you could use for your soups and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They keep going.
I use onions a lot in cooking, and
I think Megan and
Megan and Andy.
Andy, golly, I'm terrible with names. Andy and Megan, they raise them too.
Okay, maybe we should try some. Joey Neal says, if you haven't grown some candy onions, you need to try some. They're really sweet.
Candy onions?
Mm-hmm.
They sound pretty good.
Well, of course you would think so. They're sweet. Yeah, and I don't mind sweet onions, but it depends on what I'm cooking.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want sweet onions in chili.
Well, all onions get sweet the more you cook them.
Well, yeah, they'll caramelize if you fry them. because there's always a natural sweetness to it. Pretty much all onions.
Onions is a superfood. You mix that with different stuff.
The purple onions are probably the least sweet.
Yeah. I like purple onions in a salad.
Ugh, Stan. Stan says 77 today, 80s by Thursday. He just had to throw that in there.
Well, we're supposed to get 63 here.
Wednesday it'll be 63 and sunny.
I'm just going to wear a T-shirt.
I might just have to call out of work, so I'm going to hang outside today. Sorry.
I'm going to wear a T-shirt at work, and I don't ever wear a T-shirt.
They'll be like, what's wrong with Joey? What's happening? What's wrong? J. Pill says they're good for picking those onions.
Yeah.
And Farm Life with Avery is on.
Hey, Avery.
He says, sorry I'm late. I got charged by cows 2 times today. Cold started the 140 yesterday, and it was easy. Avery, please be careful with those cows.
Yes, I don't like
I know
hearing those
Jeremy
words,
Moore.
charged by cows.
Yeah, because Jeremy Moore would tell him,
Jeremy would tell you to.
you need to be careful. And he's a grown man, and he's, had some serious injury from it. So please be careful, Avery. Which I'm sure you hear that from your parents already. But Ricky E says, Joey, do you kill a beef and hog for yourself?
Wished I did, Ricky. Of course, I'll be honest with you. You can get a lot of meat off one cow, but I declare I could put a hurting on that cow in 1 year. I ain't lying.
I bet you could, honestly.
And I raised up, and that's part of the reason why I like watching. When y'all heard me say Andy and Megan, I was talking about True Grit, Appalachian Ways, and that's one of the reasons why I like watching his YouTube channel a lot, is because he still does what I grew up doing in the early 80s and late 70s. When I say me doing it, at least being there while my uncles and my daddy and everybody did it, which was kill hogs and, stuff like that.
So, me and you, we could not be a potato and beef farmer, or we eat all our profits.
Probably would. Yeah. I'd have to have the older I get, I don't know, I'd have to have a cow. I would need a bull or a couple of steers that were just aggravating as can be. Because I wouldn't want to eat one that just
was your pet.
That was my pet.
Yeah.
I don't mind eating them and stuff, but I'd need them like chili out here.
That you're like happy to kill them.
Like I'd eat that goat tomorrow.
Yeah, me too.
No problem.
Let's see. Avery says, do you have another 122 Stan or any 140 stuff?
Stan ain't got nothing.
Oh, is he asking Stan? I didn't know what he's saying there. I thought maybe 122 Stan was like the name of something.
122
okay.
Is a disc harrow.
Oh, okay. Sundowner says, we got up to 51 today and it was wet.
51 and wet.
And Timbo says, Big Daddy Don is spring cleaning house. And not just spring cleaning our house, but getting other people in order too. Like Columbia.
Yeah, I've
Hand me my chapstick on that table.
I really am impressed with the the speed of stuff that he's doing and everything, and I'm looking forward to him getting all the criminals out of here, and I'll probably lose some of you here. Y'all don't hate me, but once he gets all of these gang members out, all of these hard criminals, which is a ton, by the way, a ton, I wouldn't mind seeing maybe some, I don't know, maybe a little bit of mercy on some of these ones that have been here 2 or 3 years and done started a life and what have you and whatnot, and are good people, good people working hard, doing good. I'd like to see something for them, but that's just, we were all strangers in the land at one time. But I'm all for these gangs and criminals. Load them on a plane, get them out of here.
You called me a liberal.
I don't know. Just extend them a little bit of mercy.
Yeah,
there.
no, I get it. I get it.
Especially if they're, say,
Like they're working and being law-abiding citizens.
They're doing good. Maybe we could show them a little mercy there.
I mean, and I agree with you on that, of course. Let's see where I was at. Joe with the W says, I've heard a lot about the candy onions. I think I'm going to try them this fall. And Joey Neal says, at Joe with the W, I plant them early spring, his candy onions.
Oh, okay.
So, even though we usually plant them in fall, Joey Neal's plants them in spring. So it could be a spring onion. Bart says, hey, Stan, we supposed to be 73 here in Goldsboro, North Carolina, Friday. Yeah, see, that's what I was hoping for, like going towards the coast. And we're going to go around mid-February now. And so, and speaking of, we're still on baby watch. Still no baby yet. So hopefully when we go, the baby will already be here.
Y'all on baby watch. I'm not.
Joey says February 1st or 2nd.
Yeah.
So that's what?
Saturday or Sunday.
Okay, Saturday or Sunday. Okay. Yes, Sundowner says, yes, indeed, Columbia found out he's not playing around.
Yeah, that was kind of comical there.
I know, and I'm like, man.
I mean, to go
getting it done.
To go from you can't land your plane here to, oh, here's my plane, you can use it.
Mm-hmm. And then Avery's just talking to Stan about what he's got for sale.
Oh.
And Avery, I don't know if you want to make that drive. I don't know if your mama and daddy will be like, I'm not sure about that, Avery.
Yeah, I got a little bit of update on some of you guys may, some of you guys follow along closer than others, so that's why I guess I'm mentioning it here, because the folks that are watching the live right now probably do follow this more than others, but my oil change video is going to be put off for a little bit longer. As you know, I'm doing some testing on some oil. I have 2 of the tests back. I do have a test for Amsoil, and I do have a test for the Pennzoil. Have came back, but I need a little more data. And I talked to Lake Speed, and we both agreed that it would be good to have a little more data. That way, when we do a video, it won't be one of those videos, well, it could be this, or well, it could be that, or it might do this, or it might do that. We can, or I say he can lay down some cold hard facts on that oil. So it'll make for a better video. It'll be a little longer as far as the waiting time, not the length of the video. Waiting for the video is going to be a little longer, but it'll be worth it in the end because it'll be some good data, and it won't just be guessing or anything like that. But I'm still looking forward to it. But I will say this, big oil company, the big oil companies, your big boys, they pretty smart. They know what they're doing on mixing oil. I will say that.
Avery wants to know, what day are you going to the farm show in Raleigh?
I do not know, Avery. What day is it?
It's the 5th through 7th, I think.
So that's next
or
week?
7th through 9th. I don't remember. It's a Wednesday through Friday, I think. And that would be next Wednesday through Friday.
Yeah, I'd have to take that off, Avery. I'm not sure. I'm supposed to be, since you mentioned that, and we're talking about dates, I'm going to go pick up a couple of pieces of equipment the 8th.
Why wouldn't the farm show be on a Saturday?
I don't know. Saturday the 8th, I'm picking up some equipment that I haven't said nothing about on the channel. And it's going to be pretty good, and I think you guys will like it. Got to go to New Bern to get it. So I'd like to go to the farm show. I want to. I need to film some of it. So I don't know. Maybe that Thursday. You want to go on that Friday? Friday, they didn't give all the free stuff away. We need to go like Thursday. Because, see, here's how it works. Okay. They got 10 boxes of bags to give out.
Mm-hmm. So they're holding them back.
They hold back a little bit the first day. The second day, they get a little loosey with it and just give it out.
Yeah, because I do.
And Friday, they done gave it all out.
Yeah, because I do go rack up on the
Yeah, Lena
freebies.
likes the free stuff. I got a tree planted out there that's still living from that
We got
farm
it from
show.
the wildlife something.
No, you got it from the forestry department.
Forestry department. Yeah.
And it stayed under the seat of the truck
For 2 weeks.
for 2 weeks before I planted it because I'd forgot about it. Planted it and it lived.
But the natural sweat of like the sun coming in and creating some moisture in the little, it's in a little slip, in a plastic slip. It watered it. So it wasn't even dry after 2 weeks.
I don't know what did it, but
It
it's
was
still
awesome.
living.
Yeah.
It's the it's the loblolly that made it.
Yeah, Avery says, it is Wednesday through Friday. I'm going Friday. Joey Neal says, I buy them at what we call onion slips and plant them in a hill that I make. Then as they grow, I take the hill away to expose the onion some.
Oh, cool.
And Joe says, I'm going to find some and plant them this spring then. And Bart says, I fell asleep long as they were working and paying their own way. Yes, give them a chance. But if we paying them to live and they're working send their money back, no way. Yeah, like they work here to send their money back to Mexico.
Well, as far as if we don't have nothing invested in them, like say they're not on any type of welfare or any type of houses, they're paying their way. They're buying their own cars, their own groceries, paying their own power bill, all of that. I don't care how much they send back to Mexico.
Because they're still going to be spending money here for groceries and.
Yeah, but now, I think what he's saying is if their housing is subsidized.
Right, like they get
and
free
we're paying for
housing,
the
free
insurance,
medical,
yeah.
free food. You know, they get food stamps.
I get that.
But then
see
they
what he's saying
send
there.
all their money back. Yeah, I
But
agree with
as a
that.
whole, as a whole, well, I say that, but yeah, I see what you're saying. I agree with you there. I wouldn't want to see that. I wouldn't want to see us pay for the housing and then turn around and send it somewhere else.
Timbo says, crude oil price today is $73.28. Drill, baby, drill.
What do you say, 70 what?
$73.28.
It still won't come down under $3. No, it's under $3 now. Yeah, it's $2.87.
Ricky E says, your garlic done well in this cold weather.
It did. And you know, we had a couple of, the onions are still alive too. They're fine. I didn't get Sammy to get real close on the camera the other day, partly because it's a little bit wet out there. But I looked out through there. There's still green onions sticking up.
And Bart says, sorry, as long as they're working and paying their way, then give them a chance.
Yeah.
He says, oh, and they have to speak English.
Well, yeah, you would hope they would do that.
Which and a lot of time it's a learned thing too, is they learn the language as they work.
I guess in that sense, I don't know if I'd make a good president or not, because like I said, you know, they basically, for all intents and purposes, the front door was open and they said, come on in. Mm-hmm. And I mean, I've been some of these countries and you can't blame them for trying.
Yeah.
I don't guess. I know I probably, I might would if I lived down there, but yeah, certainly well, you got to lock up the border first.
Which it is, because I've seen the numbers. It was
You
like
got to shut it down.
crazy amount of numbers.
And then you get all the bad
changed.
ones out. And once you get all the bad people out, then you can have a conversation about, okay, what do we want to do right here?
Yeah, so we'll see. We'll see how that works out.
Yeah.
But I think we should call it a night this evening.
Call it a night.
It's 9:08. We've went over.
Oh.
We've went well over an hour.
Well, guys, I thank
And
y'all.
I keep yawning. I'm not trying to be rude. I'm covering it just because I'm tired.
And we're going to film something this week. We'll probably take a couple, 3 days and put together what we're doing and make a video out of it. And I know we all look forward to spring, guys, and I catch myself doing it. And I try to remind myself, just enjoy the day you got at hand. Mm-hmm. And, and not be wishing your days away. So as much
Oh,
as
it's hard when it's 11 degrees.
yeah,
I find it easy to wish the day away when it's 11 degrees.
but just winter's here for a reason, and it's a blessing to have it, and hopefully it will knock down on the ticks and bugs and cutworms and everything else that bothers us in our garden season, our squash bugs and all these other bugs
Ticks.
that we fight every year. So, but I'm looking forward to this year. Oh, and somebody who asked me about when I was going to plant potatoes, the other caveat to me planting potatoes is I've never dealt with a cover crop before, and I have a cover crop on the garden that I'm gonna plant potatoes. So I got to figure out, okay, I got to, if the weather gets right, I got to get in there and cut that and get it dying back. Which planting potatoes on a cover crop doesn't scare me as bad as planting corn, because I plant the potatoes by hand, and even if it is a little bit grassy, not grassy but lumpy because of the cover crop, not a big deal. But when it comes to when we plant our corn this year, I got to get that stuff incorporated in that dirt good enough for that planter to go through it. But, all right, what else?
Oh, wait. Sundowner says, Lino, has Joey put that thing in a video yet? You know what I'm talking about, I hope. We just talked about that, Sundowner, before you got on. We
Yeah,
have.
I had. It was the one. It was the
Like
one where
3
I was
videos ago.
sharpening the chainsaws in the vise, and I had the chain in the vise, and I was sharpening it with that steel sharpener. It was just behind the chainsaw in a parts box, bolt box.
Yeah, so be on the lookout, though, because...
Yeah, within my next 2 or 3 videos, I'll put it in one of those, and hopefully, and how, guys, if like 3 people see it, when I'm in my YouTube app where I can see all my comments and I answer them and stuff, this is not the app you watch it in, guys. This is called YouTube Studio. It's something you have when you have a channel. But anyway, I can put the comments in order they were received, and I can go down and see which one seen it
Who
first.
really seen it first,
Yeah,
you know.
so.
Yeah, Sundowner says they haven't, just hasn't seen it yet. So, yeah, it's in there, but so we're going on to the next time.
Next group of them.
Yeah, next group. So,
and I'll let you guys know on the live when I'm gonna do a video within the next 2-3 videos, and that way, you guys, and that'll be something for you guys that watch the live religiously. You'll have a leg up on it. What you need, boy? What you need?
I was going to read
here,
who
boy.
said something about snow.
Where is it?
Oh, Joe with the W says, I found out that snow brings down minerals from the atmosphere
Bring down nitrogen.
that act as a light fertilizer, nitrogen.
Yep.
So that must be why things do so well when you've had snow.
It does. We need it.
And Brian says, turn around or turn under the cover crop and you'll have it for fertilizer as it rots and will help retain moisture on the drier days.
Well, yeah, I do. I want to be careful with that, Brian. I'm a little weary of don't push the camera, boy.
Well, look.
I'm a little weary of plowing too much in the spring, because if I pull up say a couple of clumps of a little bit of pipe clay, a little bit of stiff soil, it usually will winter out and mellow back out before springtime. But if you pull up that same soil in the spring, you're gonna have a clod all year long. But now, if you got good loamy soil, you can plow it in the spring.
Well, and John Amazon just came on.
John Amazon.
Yeah, says Get Lost Brandon brought me here. Do you know who Get Lost Brandon is?
Get Lost Brandon brought me here.
I wonder if that's what Sam uses, because it says you two drive the same pickup, Red Ram 1500. So I wonder if it's, you know how Sam says rate my truck? He put our truck on some rate thing.
Oh.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Well, welcome, John Amazon. We're glad. We were at the tail end of our live, though. We usually have it 8 to 9. And Joey Neal says, I plowed my cover crop under the other day. While the ground was froze, it plowed great.
Oh, cool.
And then William A. says, I remember it was -9 in January 1985, and snow was on the ground.
1985.
6th. No. 14.
Yeah, 14. Probably wasn't plowing.
No, probably not.
No,
At 14?
No, I could. Yeah, oh yeah, I could have been plowing at 14.
Oh, just not in January,
yeah,
though.
probably not in January. No, I remember plowing a bunch in.
You were probably busting the pond
I
to
was
get water.
That's probably the year I was telling Daddy about where the ice was that thick.
Yeah, you were busting the
And
pond
I
to
had
get
to
water.
take an axe down there, and then it was so heavy. The only thing I could do was push it down in the water and away.
Amazon John says, yeah, he's got a YouTube channel. Get lost, Brandon.
Oh.
And Brian says, 3 foot of topsoil for me.
3 foot of topsoil. Yeah, Brian does got some good soil.
Oh, Sundowner says, wow, y'all some young puppies. Thank you, Sundowner.
Thank you, Sundowner.
We're like, because we're at a weird age where we're about to be grandparents for the first time. And I don't feel like we're young, but I don't feel like we're old either. So we're just in like a happy midlife place.
I'm satisfied. Well, I could stand to lose a few pounds, but on the same token, I'm 6'1". Well, almost 6'2".
6'2", really.
Yeah. And I spent 4 hours and a half straight on stilts, walking on stilts.
So you're good. You're good.
So not too many people.
Eat what you want.
Not too many people can do that at 53 years
I know,
old.
and we've been a bad influence on each other. It's like, just go ahead and eat it. I mean, look at you. You're not that big. You're not that big.
I hate to admit this, back when Joe Biden was president, and things looked like they could just fall apart at any minute. I told
We
Leno.
had to put on weight.
I told Leno, I said, I need to lose some weight, Leno. I said, but to be honest with you, I might need this cushion here from when we can't buy no groceries.
We needed survival extra weight on us.
I told her, I said, we may be on a forced crash diet, not of our choosing anyway. Well, true. That's what I was thinking at the time, which that still could happen. Trump could be our president, and we could still have a disruption to the power grid or anything like that. And as much as he can do what he can do, sometimes you just can't. Look at the mountains. Golly, that water is still got them in disruption. Or that water's what it did before.
Stan says, expecting 10 inches of sunshine tomorrow. We get it, Stan. We're jealous of you. But no, really enjoy it, Stan.
Yeah.
You deserve.
That's what he worked for.
Right. This is what you've worked for, what you deserve, and I'm happy for you. I am jealous, but I'm happy that you get to have a nice place to escape the winter. Brian says, Joe, if you want to ever plow some dark soil, let me know.
Yes, sir.
Is that code for something?
No, his
Okay.
soil is loamy, dark loamy soil.
Okay. John Amazon says, the lady looks 30. Really? John Amazon, quit lying. And then Sundowner says, just turned 64 and sure do feel like it. Heck no, haven't put on stilts in 20 years. So.
Well, Sundowner would know that, and guys, don't take it wrong. I'm not saying, oh, well, I'm great because I can wear stilts. I'm looking at my abilities of what I'm still able to do, and I'm saying, thank you, Lord. I'm 53 and I can still do that. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. And Stan says, I've gained 14 pounds since arriving in Florida mid-November. No tractors here.
I gained 14 pounds since we bought that pellet grill.
No, we have not. No. The pellet grill is wonderful, and it's been a great investment, and it's something I can use, so I love it. But no, I wouldn't say like we've gained weight
If I
from
want to go
it.
on a carnivore diet, that would be time to do it for that pellet grill.
You might get tired of it though.
Yeah,
If you
probably would.
carnivore diet, I could tell you I'd be tired of it. I need carbs. But anyway, let's.
Yeah, we were supposed to get off 10 minutes ago.
I know, but everybody was commenting, and I didn't want to cut.
No, you was just going to cut them off.
No, I wasn't. Did I cut them off?
All my
Hold
subscribers.
on. Sundowner says, I don't know, he's talking their Cajun talk.
Yeah, he said, darn right. Most people can't use them. No one will tell you.
Stilts.
Oh. The only reason why I can do it, Sundowner, is because I used to house the bike in a stick barn. I have no doubt that's what gave me the ability to do that.
Oh.
Okay.
You ready?
See y'all on the next one. God bless y'all. Y'all have a good week. God loves you. We'll see you.